Have you ever wondered where the art of quilting began? Imagine a craft so timeless and versatile that it has been woven into the fabric of cultures worldwide. Today, we delve into the cozy world of quilting, a vibrant tapestry of creativity and tradition. From its humble beginnings as a practical necessity to its evolution into a form of artistic expression, quilting is a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. Join us as we unravel the threads of time and explore the rich history of quilting. Our journey begins in ancient Egypt, where the art of quilting was born. Picture the sandy dunes, the majestic pyramids, the river Nile, and amidst all this, the humble beginnings of quilting. The earliest known quilted garment is from around the 1st century BC, a carved ivory figure of a pharaoh wearing a quilted mantle. But quilting wasn't only an Egyptian craft. Let's venture eastward, to Asia, where the Mongolian horsemen were known to wear quilted garments for protection against the harsh, biting cold. Yes, you heard it right. Quilting wasn't just about aesthetics, it had practical uses too. The Chinese also adopted quilting techniques for clothing and decorative purposes, with some of the earliest examples dating back to the 1st century BC. Now imagine a battlefield, the clanging of swords, the shouts of warriors. Here, quilting found another use. Quilted garments were used under armor for comfort and additional protection. The Crusaders in the Middle Ages wore quilted garments under their chainmail to prevent chafing and to cushion the impact of blows. But quilting wasn't just associated with war and protection. It was also a means of storytelling. Quilted tapestries were used to depict scenes from life and literature, weaving narratives in thread, and preserving history and culture in fabric. From the icy plains of Mongolia to the bustling markets of China, from the grandeur of Egypt to the rugged battlefields of the Middle Ages, quilting has journeyed through time and across continents. It was not just a craft, but a testament to human ingenuity, a testament to our need to create, to express, to protect, to tell stories. It's fascinating, isn't it? How a simple craft of stitching layers of fabric together could have such profound historical and cultural significance. Quilting is not just about creating beautiful patterns. It's about resilience, adaptability, and creativity. From its practical uses in clothing and armor to its artistic implications in tapestries, quilting has evolved and adapted with us. From humble beginnings, quilting has woven its way through history to become a beloved craft. And this is just the beginning of our journey. As we continue, we'll see how quilting has further evolved, reflecting the changing times and the creativity of the human spirit. Scene script. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, quilting takes on a new role. As we step into the Middle Ages, the art of quilting becomes more than just a craft. It evolves into an essential aspect of life, particularly across Europe. The technique of stitching together layers of fabric was used extensively in home furnishings, clothing, and even armor. Imagine for a moment the grand halls of a medieval castle. The walls draped with large tapestries, intricately quilted to provide insulation against the cold stone. These tapestries served a dual purpose. They were not only functional, but also a display of wealth and status. The more intricate the design, the higher the stature of the household. Now let's shift our gaze to the clothing of the era. During the Middle Ages, quilting was used to create warm, padded garments. These were particularly popular in the colder regions of Europe. Quilted petticoats and doublets were common, providing much-needed insulation against harsh winters. The fashion-conscious nobility often had their clothes quilted with rich fabrics and elaborate patterns, once again underlining the status symbol that quilting had become. Interestingly, quilting even found its way into the battlefield. Knights wore quilted garments under their armor for comfort and added protection. The padding helped to cushion the impact of blows and prevented the armor from chafing against the skin. This proves that quilting was not just about aesthetics, it was a practical and versatile technique. Quilting was also deeply entwined with the religious and cultural practices of the Middle Ages. Quilted altar cloths and vestments were common in churches, and during festivals, communities would come together to create quilts as a communal activity. These quilts often depicted biblical scenes or local folklore, serving as a medium of storytelling and preserving cultural heritage. As we can see, quilting was not just a craft, but a vital part of everyday life. It was a skill passed down through generations, a symbol of status, a means of protection, and a way of expressing cultural identity. The Middle Ages were indeed a transformative period for quilting, setting the stage for the innovative techniques and designs we see in the centuries to follow. As settlers journeyed to the New World, so did quilting. a craft that would become an integral part of the American tradition. The first settlers from Europe arrived on the shores of the Americas with their quilts, a tangible piece of home that represented warmth, comfort, and familiarity amidst the uncertainty of the new land. In the early days, quilting was a necessary skill, a practical art form that served a dual purpose. Quilts provided much-needed warmth in the harsh winters and also offered an outlet for self-expression. With resources scarce, pioneer women would make do with whatever fabric they could get their hands on, often repurposing old clothing or bed linens. These patchwork quilts were a testament to their resourcefulness and creativity. As communities began to form, so did quilting bees, social gatherings where women would come together to quilt. These events were more than just a chance to work on a communal project. They were a vital social network, a forum for sharing news, offering support, and forging friendships. In this way, quilting became a thread that wove together the fabric of pioneer life. In the Americas, quilting also began to take on a uniquely American flavor. Influences from Native American and African American cultures began to emerge, leading to a rich tapestry of designs. Quilts became a canvas on which the diverse cultural heritage of America was reflected. Quilting also played a role in the political landscape. During the American Revolution and the Civil War, quilts were used as fundraising tools and symbols of patriotism. They were also a form of secret communication, with different patterns conveying messages to those in the know. Quilting was more than just a craft in the Americas. It was a lifeline, a form of expression, a means of community building. It was a beacon of comfort and creativity in the harsh pioneer life, a tradition that continues to be cherished and celebrated today. And so, as we pull the thread through the fabric of history, we see that quilting in the Americas is a rich and vibrant tapestry, a testament to the resilience, resourcefulness, and creativity of its people. Quilting was a beacon of comfort and creativity in the harsh pioneer life. The 19th century brought about a quilt renaissance, particularly in the United States. This period was a golden age for quilting, with the craft becoming a popular pastime for women across the country. The art of quilting became a way for these women to express themselves creatively and socially, while also providing practical and beautiful additions to their homes. Quilts were not just made for personal use, but also for communal purposes. They were often created as gifts for weddings, births, and other significant life events, becoming cherished heirlooms passed down through generations. Quilting bees, where groups of women would gather to work on a quilt together, became social events, fostering a sense of community and camaraderie. The 19th century also saw a major advancement in the quilting process, with the invention of the sewing machine. Until this point, all quilting had been done by hand, a labor-intensive process that could take weeks or even months to complete a single quilt. The sewing machine, patented in the middle of the century, changed all of that. With the advent of the sewing machine, quilting became faster and easier. The machine's ability to produce consistent, high-quality stitches quickly meant that more quilts could be produced in less time. It also opened up the craft to a wider audience. Those who might not have had the patience or skill to quilt by hand were now able to take part in this creative endeavor. The sewing machine also allowed for more intricate designs. With easier stitching, quilters could experiment with more complex patterns and techniques. This led to a surge in the variety and creativity of quilts produced during this period. However, the move towards machine quilting was not without controversy. Many traditionalists believed that machine-made quilts lacked the personal touch and craftsmanship of hand-quilted pieces. This debate over hand versus machine quilting is one that continues even today. The sewing machine revolutionized quilting, making it accessible to many more people. The 19th century was a period of great innovation and growth for quilting, one that left an indelible mark on the craft's rich history. In the 20th century, quilting became a form of artistic expression, as it evolved from a practical craft into an art medium. It was a time of great transformation for quilting, as it found its place in the modern world. This era saw a revolution in the materials and techniques used in quilting. Synthetic fabrics were introduced, providing quilters with a wider range of colors and textures to work with. Machine quilting also gained popularity, allowing for more intricate and precise designs. The Great Depression and the World Wars brought about a resurgence in quilting. As resources were scarce, women began to quilt out of necessity, using scraps of fabric to create warm blankets. These quilts, born out of hardship, are a testament to the resilience and resourcefulness of the human spirit. In the latter half of the century, the quilting community began to grow and diversify. Quilt guilds were established, offering a space for quilters to share their work, learn from each other, and foster a sense of community. Quilting magazines and books started to be published, spreading ideas and inspiring new designs. The 20th century also saw quilting being recognized as an art form. Art quilts emerged, breaking away from traditional patterns and techniques. These quilts were not made for utilitarian purposes, but to express the artist's vision and creativity. Quilting exhibitions and competitions became more commonplace, showcasing the skill and artistry of quilters. Quilts were no longer just functional items, but works of art, with each one telling its own unique story. Quilting has evolved from a practical craft born out of necessity into a form of artistic expression. Each quilt is a canvas, where the quilter paints with fabric and thread. The stitches are the brush strokes, the colors and patterns the palette. Quilting has truly become an art, with each quilt telling its own unique story. The story of the quilter, their creativity, and their place in time. It is a story told in fabric and thread, a story that continues to unfold as we move into the future. Today, quilting is a vibrant and diverse craft, bursting with creativity and innovation. In this fast-paced digital world, it's a breath of fresh air to see people take a step back and enjoy the tactile and artisanal experience of quilting. Modern quilting is a fascinating mix of old and new. It takes the traditional techniques that have been passed down through generations and blends them with contemporary aesthetics and technologies. Think bold colors, graphic patterns, and innovative designs, all stitched together with a nod to the past. It's not just about the finished product, but also the process, the careful selection of fabric, the meticulous cutting, and the rhythmic sewing. And then there's the technology. Quilting software, digital fabric printing, and computerized sewing machines have revolutionized the craft, making it more accessible and varied than ever before. But don't be fooled into thinking that this is a solitary, screen-based hobby. Oh no, quilting is as much about community as it is about creativity. Across the globe, quilting groups and guilds are thriving, bringing together people of all ages, backgrounds, and skill levels. These communities provide a space for quilters to share their work, learn from each other, and form lasting friendships. They also play a crucial role in keeping the craft alive, passing on skills, and inspiring the next generation of quilters. Quilting also continues to have a significant impact beyond the crafting world. Quilts are used to raise money for charities, to commemorate events, and to provide comfort in times of crisis. They tell stories, capture memories, and express emotions in a way that few other crafts can. From small, personal projects to large community quilts, each piece is a work of art, a labor of love, and a testament to the enduring appeal of this craft. From ancient Egypt to modern times, quilting has remained a cherished craft that connects generations. So there you have it, the rich and vibrant history of quilting. From its ancient origins through the Middle Ages and into the Americas, quilting has stitched its way through centuries. The art evolved in the 19th century, flourished in the 20th, and continues to captivate us today. Its enduring popularity underscores not only its aesthetic appeal, but also its historical significance. Next time you see a quilt, remember, it's not just a blanket, it's a piece of history.